back with the Titanic. Since I started on that thing, I'm not gonna update it. It really doesn't have a use anymore. So I think you guys know what I'm gonna do. If you said put it in water, well, you're kind of right. I'm gonna put it in water as well as sink it. I know the water level wasn't really this high. I wish I can actually make it moving, and I might actually put TNT to make it look like it's flood. Dude, I'm gonna do like in a night remember. I'm not gonna have a split. And I feel like A Night to Remember was just the sinking. Like, almost the whole movie of A Night to Remember was sinking. Like, there was, like, almost the whole thing really was just the sinking of the boat. But there was some parts still with it floating. So this thing is gonna sink. Don't think an iceberg hit. That could kind of seem reasonable. I'm not even gonna close the doors, cause they don't really do a use. I don't know why they even closed the doors. Well, it would still kind of slow down the sinking. It still would. Oh no, we've hit an iceberg. Oh no, we're going down. Fire ahead, oh no. SOS, take my child, oh no. You're in just flushed in through the window and like the whole inside is sinking. And then they open the door and you're like, SOS. It's just getting everywhere. And third class is starting to flood pretty much. Oh jeez. Now the bow is almost underwater. Then rain. It didn't rain on it. It should actually be night to make it a bit. I'll keep it day. Oh no, our bow is flooding. Oh no. Oh, I should have actually built a little Carpathia. That'd be funny. Or possibly Californian. That could be Californian. It should be illegal. Like if you're on trip and you see fireworks, it should be illegal to not go to that area. That's what California did. They're like, we ain't gonna. Well, they really didn't think. No, they were thinking probably because like they knew it was Titanic. And like they're unsinkable. They don't need help, and they're probably celebrating to get to New York. But third class cabins are now starting to flood, which we can get through by going to the stern. As you can see, it's dripping everywhere, and bam, bam, bam! The water is spilling everywhere in third class. All the windows are breaking. Everything is splashing everywhere. All windows are pretty much broken. Water's spilling everywhere. Boom, boom, boom. I know the bow didn't really come off. I'm just gonna do that to make it look quicker. There's so much open holes now. Third class is there's no way. Now water's starting to make its way up to the bridge. The Titanic doesn't have a lot of time. And the grand staircase is starting to flood. And I think I'm going to do it up to there, and the bridge has started flooding. Ooh, close off the grand staircase with the door. I want to do that. There's no turning back on this. We don't want to do it like this, so no more water will rush in, and like the captain is going down the ship, so I want to get all this flooded. and water is up to the grand staircase, and the grand staircase door will break right after Captain's windows break. So I'm just gonna keep a little bit of water in there just to make it a bit realistic. Like that. Then Captain's place has flooded, and the captain is now lost. I meant to break the door. The funnel is falling. Let's just pretend. And the grand staircase doors have just came open due to windows. And this starting to flood. Water is pouring down from here. Amazingly. Everything here is flooding. Water has started to make its way up into the grand staircase. There's no turning back, as everyone in the grand staircase is dead pretty much. As everything is flooding a bit. Back to third class. In the aft grand staircase, it seems to be holding up good. It really does. Back to third class, there's only third class is now rapidly flooding. It's spilled over there. It's just going through and through. There's no turning back on this. And surprisingly, windows stay. Why is that not? That's not. And the stern has just kind of went down a bit of a level, like that. And the grand staircase is now starting to flood. As all passengers see that the grand staircase dome is now underwater. In horror, they yell. Maybe possibly for help, and I have to put a block there. I know that ain't the right block. But the grand staircase is now flooding. The other door breaks. And, oh no, the grand staircase dome is about seconds away from breaking. There's no way they can get out alive. As some windows on the Titanic is now sinking so fast. And now almost the whole grand staircase is ready to be broken up. And the windows break. And the grand staircase dome has just broke, and aft is waiting for its turn. Now, the grand staircase is now officially flooded, and water is starting to make its way to the aft grand staircase. Okay, back to third class. Third class is actually isn't holding up that good, but it's there. It is holding up amazing, third class. The gym is starting to flood from a window in third class, in the grand staircase. Something has broke, letting in some water. In seconds, the gym will be flooded. Just the last funnel is remaining. No, it would be split in two by now. I know that, guys. I know my Titanic facts. Inside the gym, everyone's in horror. They see that everything is flooded, and bam, bam, the gym starts flooding. Then the windows break. The gym is now officially flooded. The aft grand staircase is holding up, but is it holding up for good enough? As it starts sinking the grand staircase, sense though. Surprisingly, the first funnel has never flooded yet, which I know it should be. The bridge is now flooded. There is no more you can see of the bridge. Let's go see the aft grand staircase inside. Water has made its way to the aft grand staircase. And it's flooding and flooding. And all passengers see that there's water above them. And the door opens up and water is now spilling everywhere and everywhere. The aft grand staircase is dead. Then the whole dome breaks up. In a couple seconds, it will break up into pieces. So here's the grand staircase. As water has flooded and Titanic is only a minute away from her final plunge into the Atlantic. And third class has been holding up very politely. It does not want to go down and it refuses to, but it does at some point. The aft grand staircase has broke waters spilling out everywhere. Titanic has stopped sinking only for 2 seconds. Then the aft grand staircase has broke. The aft grand staircase is now flooded and Titanic begins her final plunge. Here's the stern. Water is now making its way into third class. As decks, anybody on board is now dead. As Titanic is now on her final plunge. It only has seconds to spare. Then water zooms straight into third class, down the third class stairwell. It is not holding up great third class, but it is going there. It almost refuses to sink. And almost everything is now flooded except of the third class passengers who are the luckiest on board. Then the whole boat is almost flooded. It begins its final plunge peacefully into the Atlantic. The last funnel has just flooded and fell off. And the second class entrance is starting to slowly but surely fill in with water. As it is completely submerged, it acts like the grand staircase and think it is the grand staircase. It just breaks up. Everyone in there is... And the second class entrance has just flooded. And third class is now starting to flood. And the ship is now completely under the water in the Atlantic to be lost for 73 years. Titanic lost all the way to port while doing this and making her final plunge as it decides to list to port for fun. Nothing is left of the Titanic but horror and screams. And third class still is an infinite living system. It is still not flooded as it has air pockets in it, which second class and first class does not have. But it has just went down as it goes down. It has no power, nothing. There is no way anyone's living out alive of third class. So they might as well take it. And third class has just flooded. There is now a bunch of holes up from first class, as it also is kind of like invincible. But that is the end of Titanic. As water is pouring up into third class. All third class passengers think they're safe, but they're not. As they're also creeped out by seeing that they're below the water level as a submarine. Almost everywhere in the ship is flooded, but third class, as it is almost invincible. But then all walls break, and third class is no longer invincible. Boom. Well, that's the end of Titanic. You guys like that? Well, that is a work of art gone. Well, at least we have a way better thing. And that, my poor sub. I really don't have any homes. Except to live in an under construction, Titanic. I can maybe make myself a first class cabin quickly. No, just kidding. So we are gonna get on to building with this Titanic. Look at that. I think I left off on third class yesterday. Okay. Well, why don't we, I'm gonna start a new, stream, in like a couple minutes with another 24-hour challenge. I don't know, it might be after, oh, it is only 4:30? Oh, wow. So I am gonna make a Walmart do zombies and do like a 24 overnight challenge. Maybe a mail yourself challenge. Which everyone, like, who is mailing something, they should check the boxes to see if anyone's in there. Okay, but I'll see you once my Walmart, Toys R Us, or whatever